Hello, and welcome back to Shatter Our Souls with Novaria. Now, last time we did challenge every side mission and main race in Blacklist number 12, Izzy's domain. And are doing fairly well overall. There are some minor issues that are cropping up, but generally speaking, it's a one and done small stuff. It's not taking forever for us to actually manage these issues that crop up. However, as I believe I've stated, the game is only going to get harder as we go on because this is considered a low-end vehicle. So, with that knowledge in hand, how will we fare against Izzy? Izzy is wielding an RX-8, which I previously mentioned is the epitome of a tuner. Just so happens that the Lexus falls under the same umbrella of a tuner-style vehicle as well. Tuners, for the uninitiated, are great in terms of their handling and cornering performance, but struggle when it comes to top speed and acceleration. They also are typically a lighter vehicle as a general rule, so they will have a tendency to slide around on rough terrain a lot more than heavier vehicles would. Now, this isn't a bad thing. Having a lighter, faster, and more maneuverable vehicle is a good thing. But not being able to control your vehicle, which is another side effect at times of a light vehicle, is another negative. But one of two races is already bested, so let's hit the second. Now, I know for certain that Izzy is a tough opponent to beat. Well, actually, she's more middling. She should be easier than Vic was, given that the only thing special about her car is its cornering, which genuinely doesn't really make much of a difference to us at this time. The Lexus IS300, which I admit up until this moment in time I have been mispronouncing or misstating basically the entire time I have existed, is overall doing fairly okay. I'd say that it has a lot of room for improvements, but I also know that it's not going to get treated with that level of care and concern that a typical person would give. What in the world are you doing, Izzy? I think the AI got lost for a second because she tried to turn around in a parking lot, I think to do a trick or, leap off a small ramp. But I don't actually know. That was very weird. And I'll admit it's a new one for me to see something like that. Normally they get caught on something else, but it's a game. Unfortunately, programming is never 100% in these things, so I'm just going to shrug and say, oh well. It's not like it's going to cost her the race. She's already caught up with me. There we go. I've still got a 2-second lead and somewhere in the ballpark of 500 to 1,000 feet ahead of Izzy. I think it's okay. I do like the sprawling, rolling hills of the Rosewood area, the water towers that you can't access, and kind of a lot of the scenic area in here. My biggest complaint with Rosewood and Rockport as a whole is that Rockport as a whole has these massive areas where you can see what's going on around you, like we're in a residential area near a highway. Perfect. And it doesn't follow through with that aesthetic very commonly. So what I'm getting at is that there are areas that have massive bridges, there are small cafes, there are towers for train stations, attached buildings, detached buildings, apartment complexes, and no roads to get anywhere near them. Like, there's a full-blown government building in here, a jail system, there's a jail, a government building, there's a college, there's all sorts of interesting and usable buildings. Buildings that are necessary in standard day-to-day living. But 90% of these are not or don't get treated the same way as they would get treated in real life. Yeah, you've got your businesses like the colleges that have ample parking, but basically nowhere else in the entire city gets that same treatment. Anyways, with that, we have beaten Isabella. And we got the pink slip. With that, if you like what you see or are curious where we go to next time, drop a like, leave subscribe. We'll get back to you next time. I got a lot of money to make up now because I am broke.